Hope everyone is having a fantastic day today. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Olivia. And like I say, every day is a good day because you wake up. You woke up today. But something that I wanted to talk about today is a smart man will look around, but a wise man will look within. That is a quote from a man. That is a quote from Matt Mashona. Matt Shona. I do not want to butcher the name. First name starts with the M, last name starts with the D. But this quote made me think that a smart man looks around, a wise man looks within. When you're smart, that is like a great level of memory of information. When you're intelligent, that is like whole picture thinking and understanding, kind of like a snow globe is what I feel like. I feel like information is dots, knowledge is connecting the dots, and then wisdom is the dots making a picture. Wisdom takes information, takes smart, you being okay. It's smart, it's intelligence, and then it's wisdom. Intelligence is good, but when you take it to the level of wisdom, I think that's really when it is very powerful and purposeful. Smart people focus on gathering information. They focus on learning from their environment externally. But wise people, they not only focus on all the things that smart people do, but they take it a step further to apply it to themselves and are very introspective, are very understanding of who they are, self-reflective, have self-awareness, hold themselves accountable, very conscious of who they are mentally, who they are emotionally, just across the board. And I feel like self-reflection is good for a deeper understanding of not only for your environment externally, but even your internal environment, your internal world, what's going on within you, what's going on inside of you. Taking a situation, not only are you examining it from an intelligence standpoint or a smart perspective, but also taking it and examining it from a wise perspective. Man, it's gonna rain. Anyway, um, wow, it's really gonna rain. But I feel like when you are wise, you ask yourself introspective questions about things that happen in your life externally, the things that happen externally, and then you ask yourself questions internally, mentally, emotional questions of, okay, why do I think this way? Or why does this truly matter to me? Or should I accept this or should I not accept this? What can I learn from this? Is this teaching me a lesson? What is the right thing to do? Not the easy thing to do, but what is the right thing to do? And I feel like wisdom comes, like I said, wisdom comes with self awareness, wisdom comes with reflection, wisdom comes with accountability of yourself. It's a very introspective understanding of who you are internally. And it can give you more understanding of the deeper truths of yourself. And it also shows the purpose of who you are as well. A great person who makes, I think, one of the best things that a person that people could ever do in their lives, one of the most important things is the decision that they want to be better. They want to just be better overall. They want to grow. They want to evolve. They want to develop their purpose. A great person, a wonderful, fantastic person, I feel like is one that makes a decision that they want to be the best person they can possibly be. And mind you, I said best person, not perfect person, because there is no perfect people walking around here on this earth. But and yet, even though they are not perfect, they're going to do the best that they can with what they have and who they are, and also willing to work on themselves. I think that is one of the hardest decisions you will ever make is a decision to work on yourself and call yourself out on behaviors and patterns and hold yourself accountable, awareness to things that are both positive and things that are negative, things that you're going to have to uproot and, get rid of those mentalities or how you're thinking and replant it with something more purposeful and positive. But like I said, I think a person who makes a decision to be the best person they could possibly be in life, and then once they reach that point, continue continue to be the best person they could possibly be, because there's always something to work on in life, in this thing called life. I feel like they are both smart and wise at the same time. You are learning from the world around you, from the things, just life externally, but also you are taking time to reflect on how the things on the, excuse me, you are taking your time to reflect on how the things that are happening externally can affect you internally, and just taking the time to reflect on your own internal world and your own internal environment, what's happening mentally, emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, just across the board. And if you are not, this is my next thought, if you are not applying what you are learning, this information, you are smart, you are intelligent. If you are not applying what you're learning, you're not using your smarts or your intelligence introspectively, the information that you know, this knowledge that you know, then I feel like if you're not using it, you lose it, as the famous sayings. And your knowledge will become unused potential rather than actual real growth. Learning, becoming aware is always the first step, and then that awareness moves you to taking action. And people can read books. You can read books all day long. You can listen to advice. You can listen to podcasts. You can watch YouTube videos, introspective videos, hear introspective things, gather countless facts, information, knowledge about anything in life. But if those lessons are never taken and you never meditate on them and you never apply them to yourselves, and if those lessons are never examined within yourself and put into action, then it just simply is information, and it will never become wisdom. Because you can know everything in the world, A to Z, Z to A, but if you do not apply that information, and you don't apply it to yourself to even develop growth and to become better, then I just feel like it's, like I said, it's just pointless information. It's unused talent, it's unused potential, it's unused information that never blossoms into wisdom. And intelligence becomes truly valuable, knowledge becomes truly valuable when you turn it inward, when you learn something from it, when you reflect on it, when you're introspective, when you hold yourself, when you are aware of yourself, hold yourself accountable to what you learn, you reflect on it, like I said, and you ask yourself, how can I be better? Or does it change the way that you think? Does it change the way that you behave? Does it change the way that you make decisions? Does it change the way that you interact with just anything in your environment externally too? Because change is always going to happen internally before it happens externally. And I just feel like true learning, true wisdom, true learning, true knowledge, true information is not measured based on how much you know, because like I said, you can know everything in the world, but if you never apply it, it means absolutely nothing. But true learning is not measured by how much you know, but it's it's important for you to allow what you do know to transform who you are. Does it make you a better person what you're learning, or do you just learn it and then you just do absolutely nothing to apply what you have learned? Because like I said, if you're doing that, you know, that knowledge that you have, that information, the intelligence, your level of, your intelligence, it kind of it becomes unused. You're not using it in the way that it should be used. And like I said, if you don't use it, you lose it. So I just always want to hold myself accountable to this, that yes, you can have the intelligence, you can have the information, you can have the knowledge, but just do not forget to always turn it inward and reflect mentally, emotionally, how I can apply this to myself and how this can help me. This knowledge, this wisdom, this understanding can help me to grow, to evolve, and become the best person I can possibly be. And then, even when I reach that point, when I am the best person I could possibly be, that is not a cutoff point. That's not the point. That's not I climb the mountain and that's it. Continuing to climb, continuing to evolve, even though that I reach that point where I quote unquote have done enough learning and evolving, but always recognizing that there's always more to learn in life. You're always going to develop, you're always going to learn something new. Someone is always going to teach you something new. You can meet someone that you have never met tomorrow, and they will open up a new perspective of life to you, a new understanding. They will change the way that you think, and always just being open to that, because that's where wisdom comes in. And that's where you're not only using your information and the things that you learn, but you're also applying it to yourself to make you the best version of yourself that you can possibly be. And that's just something that I want to continue to strive for and hold myself accountable to, and also be aware of this as well. Because I feel like this is I don't know, it's something that I want to develop even more so than I have it now. So that's all I wanted to talk about today. Um, Hope everyone has a fantastic day. Yeah, and I'll see you guys next time.